last month, May 15th to be exact, Florida Governor Ron DeSantis signed a bill into law that prevents the universities and colleges within the state from spending money on diversity, equity, and inclusion programs, DEI. The bill also limits how race can be discussed in the classroom. According to the Washington Post, DeSantis spoke during a news conference saying, if you look at the way this has been implemented across the country, DEI is better viewed as standing for discrimination, exclusion, and indoctrination, and that it has no place in our public institutions. This new bill says the whole experiment with DEI is coming to an end in the state of Florida. Under the new law, public colleges will not be able to spend federal or state money on DEI efforts, and it also prevents that colleges teach this course and teach other courses that, I quote, distort significant historical events and teach identity politics, and are based on theories that systemic racism, sexism, oppression, and economic inequities. And he also says that he also recommended that students who want to study niche subjects like gender ideology go to Berkeley, go to other places, but other than the state of Florida. So, gentlemen, what are your thoughts on this?
Bonehead. That's what he is, a bonehead.
The bonehead.
He's just.
Who uses that word?
I use it.
We know you use it because it's the only person that said that.
But that RD, I can't stand the man. I can't stand him.
Can.
He's just, what is he doing down there in Florida?
And like, when you think about it, it's not only just affecting a certain community, it's affecting a lot of people. Because right now, you're making it seem like we cannot, discuss being locked in together. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. Because you're making it seem like we're only strict and bounded to what you want to do and what you want to control, and that we have no say-so in this. So you're making Florida be, so you're trying to be a monarch and a monarchy. You're trying to make Florida a whole controlled government. You're making it limited for each and every person to identify themselves in a way. You're making these schools not teach the real facts, you know what I'm saying, to their communities. TJ, I'm going to use an example, I don't know if he's a proud Floridian, but he's from Florida, right? And if he was to stay and go to a prestigious HBCU, such as Florida A&M or Mary Cookman, if he was to go to those HBCUs, he'll be granted nothing close to his race or nothing to make it diverse for him to understand what flourishes or what methods or how he can be lively. You're going to shock that from him? If you're not going to fund this state and federally because of what? Not trying to make your whole state inclusive to diversity? Shutting down diversity is what you're trying to do in schools? That's just a question I have.
Florida, it's not Florida, is this guy. This guy, this guy, who is just out of control. And then isn't he trying to run for president in 2020?
Yeah. I think he's planning on it.
Oh, he already said it.
Yeah.
And so if you can imagine him being governor in Florida and what he is doing to that state, can you imagine him becoming president and what he wants to do to our country? So this is why I say this, and I think I said this before. This is why we have to be careful on who we vote for.
Yes.
And Florida loves this type of of what he's doing. Florida loves this. I can tell you this now. Florida loves what he's doing because Florida is a red state. Florida's a red state. And Florida is a Republican state. So look, I'm from Florida. I moved from a a red state to another red state because Texas is
matter of fact, we all stuck in red states. Everybody.
Yep, sadly.
Is Tennessee a red state?
Oh yeah.
Oh really? Oh wow. Okay, but Ron DeSantis, I feel like he's a whole nother version of Donald Trump.
2.0.
I'd rather not say that, but it's true.
They just twins. They're just twins. It's just
he's almost up that, but
the only thing that's making them different is
orange hair.
DeSantis is more slimmer and don't carry the orange hair trend.
Thank goodness. Thank goodness for that.
But I must say the DEI is very important. And when you take this DEI away, it's going to hurt a lot of people, including the HBCUs in this state of Florida.
Of course.
Wait a minute. Can we just state the fact that he thinks that the DEI is viewed as discrimination, exclusion, and indoctrination?
I hate that he often brings up the courses that colleges are offering, courses that, quote, distort significant historical events. So what are you telling? What are you saying? What are you saying in distorting historical events?
Right.
What is that meaning? Are you trying to make it seem like slavery never happened? Are you making it seem like civil rights never happened? Are you making it seem like none of this stuff that we had to endure never happened?
Trying to erase everything.
I think when Courtney was here, he said that they're trying to basically wipe away our history.
Yeah,
and I think that's exactly what they're trying to do.
Exactly.
I'm leaving it alone.
No. No.
It's stupid. It's very stupid. It's retarded. It's retarded.
Yeah.
Number one, I'm gonna be honest with you guys. I don't want to take too many time because I know y'all when I be talking too much.
Go ahead.
So I want to say this. One of my dream schools was in Florida A&M University. That's one of my dream schools I had as a young child. I never applied there because look at the state. So if I was to end up going to Florida A&M and end up getting to a great program for communication, am I going to be limited to what I can and cannot do in that facility? Or is my school going to go down because you're not providing diverse funding? If you don't know, HBCUs are primarily supported by the DEI because they are a historically Black college and university. So if you're going to take that away, then what's going to be the power of HBCUs in Florida? Two HBCUs that we proudly know, Florida A&M University, Mary Bethune-Cookman, right?
Yes.
And if I keep bringing up the little TJ, because if he ends up doing that and going back to the state and going to those HBCUs, if he does, where would his place be? You know what I'm saying? What would be the place for the future? Let's think about the future. Because will our kids grow up into a predicament to where nothing will be taught and nothing will be valued?
That's what seems like it's happening. That's what it seems like it's happening. And we got to do something about that seriously because
honestly, dude. Can we move on? Because I can't give him no more of my time.
I cannot give him no more of my time. This is BS. Let's move.